All right, here we are.
Hey.
Second Tuesday of the Tom Studies. This week we are going to talk, or actually Adam is going to talk about what made it necessary for him to become a holistic doctor. And it kind of starts with me.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah. So we met. I grew up in California and I went to school in Arizona. I transferred to Northern Arizona University as a junior. Mm-hmm. And I met you and a bunch of other people that fall.
I grew up in Pennsylvania here in Camp Hill and then E-Town, Lemoyne, that area. And then went to school in Arizona, and that's when we met.
Well, you went to high school for part of high school in Arizona, and then you went to college in Arizona in Flagstaff, right? So we met fall of my junior year, among a lot of other people. I was a transfer student. I didn't know anybody really. And then we had our first date in March of the spring of my junior year. He asked my dad, or he met my parents on spring break. Spring break. Yep. So, I don't know, 5 weeks later, he met my parents. And then he drove me home. It was about, I think it was like 12 or 14-hour drive home from Flagstaff to where I grew up in Central California. And he was so kind and drove me home with the ulterior motive to do what?
Ask her dad if I could marry her, the old-fashioned way.
Right. So that would have been the first week of May. So March 2nd was our first date. So March to April, April to May. So this was like 2 months. This guy.
Yeah, it was quick.
Also, as a side, he was my first real boyfriend. I dated. I went on several first dates. I didn't go on. No one ever asked me on a second date except for you.
I did.
Yeah.
I win.
Clearly. Anyway, so because I had transferred into Northern Arizona as a junior and I had changed my major, I don't even know how many times I changed my major. My parents said, yes, you guys can get married, but Emily needs to graduate from college before you get married. And if you get married before that, it wasn't anything mean. It was more like, this is what needs to happen. This is an important priority. Mm. We were like, okay. They would not pay for the wedding or out-of-state tuition. So I was like, all right, I'm going to graduate from college. So I went to my counselor after we got engaged. The following August, my guidance counselor, I don't know if they're advisor. Our college is called advisor. I was like, hey, I want to graduate and I need to do it as soon as possible because I want to get married. And she's like, well, that's going to be tricky. Anyway, long story short, I had to squeeze 3 years into 1 year. So I took I think 21 credits in the fall and 19 or 20 in the spring. It was bonkers.
It was a lot.
Bonkers. And in the course of that year, planning a wedding, a state away, and because we were planning to get married that next summer, and trying to do my best. I really like to get good grades. It's one of my favorite things.
He's good at it.
I'm pretty good at being a student.
Yep.
It's, it is what it is. I developed chronic, I couldn't keep any food down. Ulcers, a lot of stomach indigestion, reflux. My parents flew me home because I was throwing up so much. And my docs in California were like, you need to take a lot of Zantac. That's kind of the solution that we have. I think they may have said avoid your food allergies, but I don't remember that being a part of the conversation. I just remember a lot of Zantac.
It was a pile of Zantac.
Yeah. I can't even remember how many a day.
It was 12 or more.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. And so I came home or back to Flagstaff and Adam's like, I think I know a doc that could help you. And as a side, I'd never been to a doc like what he does in my whole life. So I was like, okay, I don't know.
So let me back up a minute because part of my story then was when I moved to Phoenix, I had developed a chronic cough. And for those of you that don't know me yet, my voice gets tight like RFK does, so we have the same vocal condition, so just be aware of that. The cough was developing over several months, and did cough suppressants and all the things, and nothing really worked. and went to a doctor that did holistic medicine and holistic care, and he found it was related to my adrenals and the stress and eating a crappy teenage diet and too much sugar and things like that.
What was your as a side, what was your favorite like delicious junky food as a teenager?
Anything. So okay, ready for this?
I don't know if we are.
We would stay up till like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. And that's when the donuts were fresh and hot, and we would go get fresh donuts.
Even before I ate well, I didn't.
Yeah.
I was not a fan of donuts.
It was so good. And it was on a, like a local mom and pop shop. It wasn't like your Dunkin' or
What
whatever.
was your favorite donut at the 3 a.m.
Oh, man.
donuts? You know it.
Yeah, and so I mean there was a couple different ones, but I like the to be honest with you, it was a cream filling, like a custard filling, and it was a strawberry icing on it.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
There it is. There it is.
Oh wow.
Yep. Orange Crush was and root beer were my favorite. And what?
Oh,
more
I
than
thought
that-
it was an Orange Crush donut.
No.
No. Okay.
No.
And
And then
no. So would you get a strawberry donut, like the strawberry with the cream, and then drink it
Yeah.
down with an Orange
No,
Crush?
that's too much. That would have been
Oh,
over
okay.
the top.
Oh,
But
no.
no.
Okay.
what else was the of course, Snapple. Right?
Yes. What was your favorite
Strawberry,
Snapple flavor?
what was that? Strawberry
Kiwi.
strawberry.
Mine was
Yeah.
Diet Peach Tea Snapple. Oh, that was so good. I would get Snyder's hard pretzels, like the really hard crunchy ones before I knew I needed to be gluten free, and I would get a 4-pack of the Snapple Diet Peach Tea. And that was what I would use. Like that was my food. That was my sustenance for
Yeah.
lifeguarding as a teenager. I would
Yeah.
just eat that for breakfast or lunch. That was it. No
So,
wonder we
you know,
were unhealthy,
Yeah, like,
right?
and we knew nothing that we now know. But
No.
so I went to this doc, and he said,
Oh, for your
stop eating
cough.
for my
Right.
cough. He said stop eating junk food, basically, right? No big
Hmm.
surprise. And then also gave me some remedies for my gut health and adrenal stress. And there was a lot of stress with the move, so he worked on my emotional brain and reset some pathways there. And within 2 weeks, my cough was totally gone.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Did
Very
you think it was
impactful.
incredible?
I did. Yeah, when I was a
Okay.
kid, I was like, wow, like no one's ever helped me like that before.
Well, because sometimes kids, like
Yeah, you don't
we
really
help them with
appreciate
something,
it.
and
You
they're like,
don't know.
whatever.
No,
not a
it was,
big
it was
deal.
pretty impactful. And so that was actually impactful enough that that's the doc that I said, well, maybe this guy can help you.
Mhm.
And then I guess one other piece for me in college, I was in a car wreck and just going around campus, didn't have my seatbelt on. I was a invincible college kid.
Another unhealthy choice.
Yeah.
Started, maybe that was the slippery soap, was that strawberry cream donut.
It probably was.
Hmm.
And anyway, so I got hit, and then my head went and hit the dashboard or the windshield, and anyway, so whiplash, and my arm was going numb,
Mm.
and I'm like, that's bad, So I went to a chiropractor that was near campus, and he was
I think it was neuro, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a
neuro-based?
neurologist,
Yeah.
a functional neurologist, and so he was able to help my shoulder pretty quickly and my arm, and within, I don't know,
I didn't know you. I didn't know him.
Again, it was quick. It was maybe a week or two, and my numbness was gone, and everything went back to normal.
Now,
So
would
it
you
was pretty
equate that to
impressive.
your youngness? Like, do you find that
You mean like the healing process?
yeah, like the healing process
Yeah.
is more quick. Like it's a
Definitely,
quicker
yeah,
process.
when you're
for
younger, you heal
people.
quicker.
Right. Yeah.
But,
yeah.
when you treat the nerve the right way, it can respond pretty quickly. So yeah, it's some neuropathy in my hand.
Hmm.
But so yeah, those two things were very impactful for me. And then we fast forward to Emily's story with Zantac, and
Emily and the Santa.
you know,
It was more Emily planning a wedding and trying to graduate.
yeah, and doing 3 years of school in 1 year and all that.
Yeah.
So
But I did it.
yep, gold stars for you.
Thank you.
Yep. But in that time, then she was really sick, and I'm going like, man, like it's really hard to see your loved ones suffer and not know how to do anything to help them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, well, maybe this guy can help. So we went down to Phoenix. We were to our drive down the mountain and saw Dr. Rinaldi, and he's still around. So if you're watching, hey doc, and he worked on you for what, like about an hour?
Yeah, the biggest thing that like creeped me out is that he was able to figure out my food sensitivities. Like I had a lot of food allergies as a teenager. Like I went to the traditional where I'm doing this because it was like a stamp that I keep bunking. Sorry, I'm going to take this little snowman ornament down and stuff it back in our tree. There we go. So keep bonking it. They would roll like a stamp on your back, and then they would make like little scratch marks on your back and then drop the bits of whatever you were being tested on being allergic to, right? So I had all the allergies, and they said, yes, you're allergic to funky things like lettuce and cantaloupe and celery and casein, but I knew that. My brother's anaphylactic allergic to anyway. I digress.
In dairy,
yes, the protein in dairy. And that's a traditional allergist, right? This doc, not him, but the doc that he took me to was able
none of that history, didn't know any of that.
I didn't tell him anything. He just knew that, I had some stomach. I was having a hard time keeping food down, right? He was able to figure out all of my allergies.
Yeah.
And I thought it was the kooky pants thing. He also was able to say that there was some emotion driving. Hello, of course, but he didn't know my story. And he was able to like pinpoint a specific type of emotion that was driving the challenges. And he gave me some homeopathics.
Mm-hmm.
I think he gave me an adjustment, like like a spinal adjustment.
Yep. Pulled her stomach down from the vomiting, which you can, on your stomach, if there's vomiting and you need to kind of like get that pressure down, you can exhale and like push in and down.
Like where your ribs right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you might even hear like a little gurgle or feel it like reset back in place, and that can be really helpful.
Not medical.
Clinical experience, not
medical advice. Yeah. So anyway, good job, bud. Owen just finished his. You don't know who Owen is. Owen's our son. You're not playing guitar right now, sir. He just finished his college class. It's the end of the semester. He's a junior in high school, and he's dual enrolled, and he finished it. Okay, cool. That's great. Anyways, so I was like, this is crazy. I was definitely skeptical. I'd never been to a doc like this guy, ever. But he gave me some remedies and some supplements I needed to take. And we were able to go to a buffet, and I ate I didn't go hog wild and eat things that I knew I was allergic to, but I ate food and I didn't throw up. Like I could keep it down.
And how long was that since you were able to do that?
Oh, I don't know. It'd been months.
Yeah.
It had been months. Like it was rough and it was gross. Like who wants to throw up like all the time? I was throwing up water.
We go on a date and get, basic food wherever, and then it was like, quick, pull over and vomit out the
I had
door.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah.
It was really rough.
So to see that transform in like an hour was like, I got to figure out how to do that.
Right.
That's life changing.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of what we did. I went to finish undergrad. We got married.
Well, you finished undergrad before me.
Right.
Yeah. I still had an extra semester.
Yep.
Yeah. We got married.
And then I worked at Rent-A-Center, repoing couches and fridges and stuff and TVs. And
what was the craziest? I was going to say, what was the craziest thing you ever?
You don't want to know.
No, like piece of place. What's the craziest place you took something from?
So
you had to
we were in northern Arizona, and we got some help from the work release program from prison. So I had an ex-con with me.
I never knew that.
Yeah, he was all tatted up. Really, really kind guy, really nice guy. But it was nice to have an intimidation factor. So we went to the house and we're like, yeah, here's the stuff. And we got the store record for repos that day.
How did I not know that this was?
Just you learn things when you talk about it.
Did you try? Did you not want to tell me about it?
It wasn't that at all.
Oh, you just
Yeah,
were
just-
like inconsequential information.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So now the world knows.
Now the world knows.
Yep. So anyway,
Okay.
that's what I was doing while you were finishing
Yeah. No. Well. Yes.
mixed.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No. It was because you got that job pretty quickly. Anyway, so that's our that's his origin story.
And that job allowed us to transfer to Dallas, where I went to grad school. And then I jumped in day one learning applied kinesiology. That's the muscle testing and all the things that allow you to see in real time neurology how the body's responding to certain things like foods or to stress or what have you. And so we can check to see allergies, you know, and now we can check a number of things and correlate the physical exam findings with labs or
right.
all
And you have a
those
lot more
things.
technology.
We have way more tools
than,
and technology
Dr.
than that
Rinaldi had.
were available back then.
I mean, it was 20 plus years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was closer to 24.
More than 24 because we weren't
25
even
years
married
now.
yet. It was 25 years.
Yeah.
We got engaged in 99.
So yeah, things have advanced, thankfully.
I mean, even right now, like, you know, that we have a live video. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, right.
What was the other thing I would ask? So we kind of talked about our origin story long. We didn't get to answer
We
any
didn't.
questions. Sorry. Let's see. What's a quick question we could answer? Oh, I know. There was some follow-up for the thyroid last week. Can you tell us what symptoms, what were you saying? Like indicators of low thyroid function.
Oh, yeah. Indicators of low thyroid function are cold hands and feet, which can be worse in the wintertime.
Mm-hmm.
Also, thinning hair. You know, hair falling out, hair thinning. You know, combing it or in the shower, getting gobs of hair out.
Yeah. So there's, natural turnover of hair,
Right.
like coming, you run your hands through your hair, and if you have long hair, a little bit comes out, but this is like big chunks. So what I relate it to is if you've had a baby, the postpartum hair loss, if you've had a baby, then you know what that is. That's similar to when you have low thyroid. Like you lose so much hair postpartum, and it's not necessarily thyroid related.
And here's the thing, like 60% of people have a thyroid problem. They don't even really realize it.
Oh yeah,
So
that's right.
Functionally, you have a low functioning thyroid that's not diagnosable as thyroid disease. And you got some of these low level symptoms.
Depression.
Depression's another one.
Yeah.
Seasonal affective disorder, or even things like that, or just depression, like kind of low energy levels, low libido, fatiguing quickly, want to sleep all the time, eyebrows, the corner of the eyebrows thinning.
Okay.
All
right.
Yeah, dry skin, especially on the heels, cracking heels.
Mhm.
You'll get low or slow reflexes, like the tap with the reflex hammer. There's
Oh,
usually
what about
a jerk, and it would be a slower. So that'll actually slow your reflexes neurologically. Brain fog's another one.
Yeah.
So those are common symptoms of thyroid.
Okay.
Yeah. And the
All
main
right.
job of the thyroid is to stimulate your metabolism, like turn up the volume, turn up the energy level, so you can make enough energy for the body to do everything it needs to do.
Okay. All right. I think
Yeah.
that's it for tonight.
Sure.
All right. So if you have other questions, you can, I'll put up a question box in my Instagram. I guess you can probably put a question box on your Instagram.
Probably. I'll see what I can do.
Maybe.
I'm a rookie at this, but we'll
All
figure
right.
it out.
Or send us, just DM questions either to Adam at Legacy Health, or you can DM me on my Instagram channel. We really want to be a service and bring some value to you guys. So let us know if you have any questions. It can be about anything. Well, maybe not anything. I don't know.
If we want to answer it, we'll answer it.
There you go. So thanks for joining us tonight. We are glad to share a bit of our life with you. Have a great night.
See ya.
Bye.